Red, White, and Blue spotlights the true story of Leroy Logan, who at a young age saw his father assaulted by two policemen, motivating him to join the police department and change their racist attitudes from within. Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Movie Files. I am here today to give you all my thoughts and my review for the third part of the Small Axe anthology series. Today, we're talking about Red, White, and Blue. I am really excited to let you all know what I thought about this entry and if you should check it out in this spoiler-free review. Before we dive into the details, as you can see on the screen now, make sure you're following me on all my other social media accounts. That way, you can stay up to date on what's going on over here at Movie Files. If you are new to the channel, welcome to the community. Consider subscribing to the channel, and while you're at it, hit that bell so you don't miss any of my other movie reviews, TV coverage, live streams, all the fun things we do on this channel. It would mean a lot to me if you all can share this video and give it a thumbs up. Helps out the channel, but I also really appreciate it. And in the comments, let's discuss Red, White, and Blue. Let me know your pros, your cons. What you think about the performances in this particular story, a part of this anthology series? And so far, we've gotten 3 of them: Mangrove, Lovers Rock, and now this. Let me know which one has been your favorite thus far. Let's have a discussion about it in the comments below. So Red, White, and Blue, I was excited for all 5 of these anthology miniseries episodes / movies, but this was the one I was really excited for because I am a big John Boyega fan. This is pre-Star Wars. This is like Attack of the Block. Seeing him, in movies, even in the Star Wars age with, Detroit, and seeing him, and maybe not the best film of Pacific Rim 2, but I just think he's such a leading man and has such a great presence to him, and I just think he's a great stand-up guy outside of movies. So I was really excited to see him and Steve McQueen teaming up to tell this story, and I am here to let you all know what I thought about this story, Red, White, and Blue. So starting off with the positives, the thing that really kind of stands out for me, what struck me, was this story. Now, this central theme of this film, without going into the spoilers, is about change from within. Now, this isn't a slight on people that do this, but, in today's culture, it's more than just retweeting, sharing, putting a bumper sticker in your car, voicing your opinion, but not really making action. Again, it's not a slight at anyone that does take those precautions or take those actions, but seeing Leroy Logan actually making a change within the system by, number one, without getting to the specifics, but this is based on a true story. This is a real life character. Leroy, and I didn't know about this character. We'll talk about this a little bit later, but I was not aware of Leroy Logan and what a hero he is, and his legacy continues to go on in regards to the changes he's making. But knowing that at a young age, he was taught by his father to not trust police, that they can't be trusted, especially if your skin's like mine, which is black. You can't trust them, So knowing at a young age that he has that type of preconceived notions of the police force, and then something happens to his father, as I read in the synopsis, and if you've seen the trailer, he is attacked by the police. We produce police brutality, right? Excessive force. And in that action, that encourages Leroy to get into the police force. He comes from a forensic background. He has an incredible job, and some people in this movie consider him demoting himself from going from forensics into the police station. But Leroy wants to make change. He wants to make change in his community and not just be in an office. He wants to be on the street. He wants to be in the community, which again goes back to my appreciation for the story. Growing up in Chicago, living in St. Louis now, we always have the conversations about, and again, this isn't to get political in this review, but when you have police officers, people of law enforcement that are in neighborhoods and they don't know the neighborhood, they don't know the community, they're not familiar with the community, they're just thrown into this department, and that's where you get the disconnect. If you can't connect to the people, you don't know the people, how can you protect and serve them? So seeing that change that Leroy wants to do within, he grew up in the streets in the UK. He knows these kids. He grew up in the, I don't know what to call it, but like a boys and girls club where he knows where the youth stands and where they go to feel protected and safe. He can speak to those owners, right? Versus the other people that might not take the time of day, nor do they care who is in the community and what the community is all about. So I just love this story and how it was approached, how it was written, how it was performed, and we'll get to that in a little bit later. But it's within that story that change doesn't just go by just saying it, but actually doing it, and that is just something I applaud by this particular story. Transitioning into the actual performances, I thought everyone, just like everyone's done in the past 2 films, whether it be Lovers Rock or Mangrove, they just kind of fit perfectly within this world, within the story that Steve McQueen is trying to give us within these films. And, whether it be the supporting characters from the Logan family, whether it be, small screen time from his mom, his, Mrs. Logan, his wife that has he's the mother of his child, the support that she gives him, whether it be from his aunt, who actually is a police liaison who works for the police force, and there's some tension there within the family. And then when you get down to the nitty gritty with some of the performance that just really got under my nerves, got under my skin, very similar to the judge, George Clark from Mangrove, as well as PC Pulley. There are police officers that are on Logan's side. There are people that he met in training. There are people that he works side by side with in the police force that are trying to do change, trying to make a change in the community. And then you get the frustrating characters that just makes my skin boil within. But again, it goes to those performances, those actors. But there were two performances that really stood out to me. Number one, John Boyega as this real-life superhero, this real-life man of change, 30-year legacy, and continue his legacy of change, and that is Leroy Logan. Again, John Boyega to me just demands a screen presence. He is a leading man. I love what he stands for outside of movies. Again, not to get too political, but just the idea of him as an actor, what he did earlier this year with Black Lives Movement, and just him voicing his opinion on wanting change in his community, and knowing that he is a superstar and that some studios might not want him to speak politically or speak on these matters, but yet he to risk his own career to do so. He's a stand-up guy to me. So that's one thing. But then when you actually look at the performance, separating the art from the artist, he's phenomenal in this role. You see all of the emotions within this performance, the raw and honest emotions. This man is consistently has the idea since a little kid to not trust police, and see him joining the force. So what comes with that? Well, people call him a traitor. His own family, and particularly his dad, who I'll talk about here in a bit, Ken Logan, despises the decision that his son is making. So just seeing that conflict of like, am I doing the right thing? Should I continue to be a police? Should I continue to try to make change? And seeing that struggle, that pull and take that you see within the character is phenomenal. And there are points where I don't know how he was able to keep his temperament, because there are people in the police force that do not like that there's a black man trying to make change. And they, there's some people that are using him as like a symbol of like, oh, look, we have black people in the force and we're going to have him recruit other blacks. And then there's other people that's like, I don't want black people standing next to me. I'm not going to take the calls for backup. There's a lot that goes on in this film. And you see just the anger that's there in John Boyega, and particularly in Leroy Logan, but how he's able to control the anger and use it for something better. So performance was absolutely phenomenal, which brings me to one of the best parts of this film, which is the relationship between Leroy and Ken Logan, which is the father and son relationship. So you have Steve Toussaint that plays Ken Logan, who is the father of Leroy. And again, going back to what happens, what is instilled in Leroy at a young age by his father to not trust police, to kind of be hardened, right? He's not the most like loving dad, at least from what we see in this movie, but he cares for his family, he cares for his son, he just wants the best for him. But knowing what happens to him and what sparks Leroy to become a police officer, and seeing Ken try to fight for justice, doing his own way to make change and never giving up, even looking at the face of the police force. I just thought the performance by Steve was incredible. The dynamic between Ken and Leroy, the moments where he's dropping Ken, or I should say Leroy, off at the police academy, the moments where he's wearing his police uniform and how he feels in the police uniform, how his dad looks at him in the uniform. Just those two, the dynamic, the conversations they had at the beginning, the middle, and the end is just phenomenal. And again, those two guys did a great job, as well as the supporting cast. So the performances were top notch. Got to talk about Steve McQueen again. His direction, I highlighted in the previous two reviews, but when he brings these stories that I'm not too familiar with to light, and doing these stories justice, and really kind of spreading the word of, number one, Mangrove, what happens when you stand for yourself and try to make change for generations ahead. Lovers Rock, when you see the appreciation for culture, when we see people celebrating, coming together, and then this film, seeing the change, making change within. Again, Steve McQueen is telling these incredible stories that needs to be told on a big flat platform like Amazon, and I thought his direction was incredible in this. And, when it comes to the connective tissue, again, this is the anthology series. It doesn't necessarily have to connect, but I still find that Mangrove influence what happens in Lovers Rock. What we see in Lovers Rock, and even back into Mangrove, is what we see in this film. And that is, again, what people did, I would say probably 15 years from when we get this film to when we saw Mangrove. Everything that the Mangrove 9 did is enabling someone, a black man like Leroy Logan, to enter the police force, and seeing what they did influenced him to make change within his community. So I just love the connective tissue and loving these stories thus far. But there are some, some criticisms that I have here. Again, these are considered episodes, miniseries, anthology series. So, you know, it's about an hour and 20 minutes. I wish we would have spent more time with the story. I wish we could have fleshed out more of the characters. I would have, and this is just selfish on me because I thought the performances were great, but I would love more scenes with Leroy and his father, Leroy and his mom, Leroy and his wife, Leroy in other parts of the community, communicating with some other members of the community. I would have loved to have seen that. And also, again, if you look up Leroy Logan, just his history, his legacy that he's built so far these last 30 years, it's just completely impressive. And I wish we would have gotten more of that in the film. But you get Leroy entering the police force and you see what he does within the first year or so. But what he does for the rest of his career, again, that would have been a 5-hour movie. It could have had his own miniseries within itself, but I would have loved to have seen the stuff that he did off screen in real life implemented more within this film, because I think it should be seen how incredible this man is. So and those are really honestly the only things that I really have written down here as far as my negatives. So with that being said, before I give you all my overall thoughts on my score, make sure if you haven't already to like this video, share this video, leave your thoughts in the comments below, subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any of my other content. With that being said, let me give you my overall thoughts and my score. So overall, yet again, Steve McQueen opens my eyes to this amazing and powerful, inspirational, and amazing story that impacted the Black community. Leroy Logan is a true real-life superhero who saw a problem within his community and made an actual change within this corrupt and broken system. The performances feel real and honest, and the film truly inspires us to be more like Leroy and many others, to not just say you want change, but actually be the change in the current times you're in, as well as the future generations. So with that being said, I'll give Red, White, and Blue a 4 out of 5, and I definitely recommend you all give this a watch, and when you do, let me know what you thought of it. We've gotten 3 so far. The toss-up between Mangrove and, you know, this film in regards to my favorite. I love me some Lovers Rock, but I don't know, this story just really kind of resonated with me in regards to change and being part of a change and the sacrifices made to be in change. So I don't know, Mangrove, Red, White, and Blue. Let me know which is your favorite between 3. And also check out my playlist for the other 2 films that I reviewed in this series, and let me know your thoughts on that. Thank you all for watching this review. Make sure to like, share, comment. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you don't miss any of my other content. Hope you enjoyed this review. Hope you're staying safe, and we'll see you in the next video.